Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this special edition of SSL Vintage Schools Rugby. Today we the Selborne College 1993 first team rugby game, of which was quite a successful, the fifth unbeaten side for Selborne College. And joining me this morning is Jason Schmidt, scrum half for Selborne. Hello, Jason. How's it going?
Hello, Courtney. How are you, bud? You well?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Thanks. Just wanted to touch base, Jason, before we go through all the highlight packages. Lots of years, lots of water gone under the bridge. But
Yeah.
just want to ask your opinion on a couple of bits and pieces playing against the Dale 93 side. 17 games out of 17 with no draws, all wins. And I think from a Dale College point of view, we scored 170 points in the first two games. So I think from the beginning of the season, we felt we had something special there. From a Selbornian, a long-time friend and scrum half, your thoughts?
Yeah, Dell, that year, 93, in my view, was probably the best on the border, if not the best in South Africa that year. Just by looking at your results, you played some stellar sides. Paul Gymnasium, you guys beat. Grey Bloom, you beat. Affies, I think you played as well. So, you know, for me that year, your 93-year side was played with a lot of flair. Your backline in particular really were good, and they were very difficult to manage.
You know, you talk about that and you talk about records. I think we had 696 points scored and about 107 points against us. I think of which 43 were scored by the forwards and about 61 by the back. So straight off the bat, it just tells you what cool side this was, backs versus forwards. It was such a good combination. Looking at border representation as well, 5 backs and 5 forwards representing border. And it was just quite a good mix, a good unit from the forwards to the backs.
Yeah, and Selborne that year as well in 93, we had 7 Craven Week representatives, so we were also quite a good side. I did feel, though, that we probably grounded out our wins and didn't win with the flair that Dale did that year.
You talk about grinding out. I remember the Selborne front row. Well, really, the forwards were such a powerful unit as well. Our guys, our forwards were, I think our strength really was our forwards were mobile, our forwards were fit, and each with their skill set. You know, our flanks, Justin Corrins, I think seldom walked off a rugby field without a blood nose. Patrick Stutter, playmaker at the back, just connecting the forwards with the backs. Peter Lutz, not many people know this, but went on to play close to 100 games for Border. And of course, our front row with a fast striking Michael Nell at hooker there. I mean, you spoke about this the other day, how difficult it was to throw the ball in.
That's right. Rod Werter, who played hooker that year as well, and I think it was his 3rd year at Craven Week as well. We knew that we were going to face a hard game against Mark, so we had to come up with some kind of plan to try and not have the ball taken away from us, which Michael often did.
You know, we speak about these forwards and we speak about these backlines, but I mean, this really did start with our coach, Deon Boshoff, on the right of the screen at the moment, second from the right.
Yeah.
You know, he was just so clinical in his coaching. He had a 5-minute impact call that within the first 5 minutes of the game, we needed to score points. We needed to get on the board. And he also thrived to get us to be the fittest players on the border. And he drilled us with fitness and practice our moves methodically. And between Deon Boshoff's coaching strategy and Grant Griffith, our captain, everybody knows Grant is one of possibly the best SA schoolboy rugby coach in South Africa. You know, Griffey really did have an ability to squeeze out every inch, every vessel of potential out of every staff member, out of every boy rather. So between Grant's captaining skills and Deon Boshoff's coaching skills, it was a recipe for success.
And you guys did have a lot of success. And from Selborne's side, our coach was Mr. McCullum at that stage, and our captain was Hayden Luck. Hayden then went on to play 4 years for Selborne first team. He played again in 94. And then our vice captain was Rod Werter, who also played for many years for Border Bulldogs. And we're lucky that we had the experience of guys like that in our side. And then we had also our lock, Brendan Whitfield, who played 94 SA Schools. So we had a really good side. And when we played against Dell, we were always up for it.
You talk about coaches, you talk about errors, and from a Dale College point of view, we certainly were spoilt, particularly between 1987 and 1993. I think there were 2 unbeaten sides produced, two teams as well, only lost 1 game each. And this really was all started from coaching of Mr. Kenny Ball and Mr. Addison, and then Dion Boshoff just taking it on from there. So we really, of course, the 94, 95 sides were great, only losing 1 or 2 games. But in that particular era, it really was an honor, really. It always is an honor, but an honor particularly in that era to play for Dale College. But Jason, we really are we're building up into the main game, this Dale versus Selborne in 1993. It was the last game, the 17th game of the season. We had played Queen's College the weekend before that, winning 12-6. And it really all boiled down to the last game, whether we're going to be unbeaten. And who better than our favorite foe, Selborne College?
Yeah. So for us, we had narrowly lost to you in King Williamstown previously. So it was also our last game, and the Matrix were having their last game, and it was on our field. So we were highly motivated to make sure that we win and make sure that they'll lose so they don't get an unbeaten year.
So it's quite interesting. It's just such a wonderful rivalry. 199 games have been played between Dale and Selborne until 2019. I don't want to give away too much here, but when you watch the main game now, you guys kind of level pegged or just edged forward in the last couple of minutes. The way we ran back to that halfway line, there was intent. Failure was not an option. We ran back with meaning. We knew we had a couple of seconds left on the board. So we're going to give it everything, so it's just testament to the team. It's such a good mix between the backs and forwards, never say die, led by Griffey, captained by Griffey and coached by Dion. It was meant to be that, sorry to say China, but it was meant to be that we were going to take it that particular day.
Yeah, it's a bitter pill to swallow, even 27 years later. But it was a great game. It was tightly fought. I thought our forwards had the upper hand of you guys that day, but you just can't allow Dale to do what they did to us, and I don't want to give it away as well. But the last 10 minutes, you can see what Dale can do.
So we're going to start going into the highlights package now. I think a couple of minutes worth of advice from the Dale side. Just quickly while we're watching, it has to be said that our number 10, Sean Sharp, was pivotal, making crucial decisions, accurate kicking, crisp passes. Only number 12 and 13, Barry Ardakis and Grant Griffey. Such small acts, possibly the smallest centre pairing and smallest backline Dale has ever produced, but really did make space out of nothing and rock solid on defence. You spoke about the background earlier, and just if I can just quickly finish. Number 11 and 14, our wings are just polished off. I think that's Warren Spring just scoring under the poles there. The Oaks had speed. They had good setup from 12 and 13, and of course Patterson at the back, rock solid under the high ball and strong on defence. So just to sum up the back line, we really were blessed with a fantastic pack of forwards, but such a clinical back line.
Yeah, that's correct. For us, the danger men for us were Flyhoff, Sean Sharp, Griffey at 12, and obviously Darkus at 13. And those three, look at this try now by Sean there, he just opens it up. He had a lovely drift with his running that just took all of the defence across and opened up so many gaps. He was so quick that you couldn't get to him. So, and if he didn't finish and was causing havoc, Griffey was in it. And if Griffey wasn't in it, then it was Darkus.
Yeah, we certainly were spoiled for choice in the back, but let's not forget the forwards that set up such form with the front row. Not the biggest pack by any means, but our coach was adamant. We were the fittest in the border. The 6, 7, 8, 4, 5. Oaks were blitz. They really did set up a platform for us. Mark
Yeah.
Nell with a quick strike. Lux Levy and Greg Cummings, you'll see feature in the main game. We really were spoiled for choice. Alex Smith about to dot 4, then my father, beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Probably his player in back, and he probably weighed about 70 kilos. So we really were a small team, but it just all seemed to work for us with being fit and mobile.
Yeah, for us, we were lucky that we had a good pack of forwards, and I thought they were a bit bigger than Dale on the day, and but our backline as well. We mustn't take anything away from them. We also had a lot of speed, had luck, ran for Selborne College athletics, so there was no problem with our speed either. We could match Dale quite easily, but it was just that explosive speed from Sean Sharp that often tore holes into sides.
Yeah. You look at the Selborne, well, front row, plenty of grunt in the front with Brewer, Creel, Rod Buerta and Brad McDonough. I mean, those are big boys,
Yeah.
and I saw Rod's also going to play, or rather Bradley McDonough, number 3, is going to play a pivotal role in the fight as well. Just have a look at this chap's kicking ability. I mean, he front, and I think you mentioned he may have been playing fullback somewhere in his life as well.
Yeah, the only player I know that can play prop for a provincial side and then play fullback for the first team club side. So on the day, if you've never seen a prop kick for poles, watch the game against Dale Selborne coming up soon, and you'll see that a prop can kick. He has a lovely wristwatch too.
I think special mention must also go to Bradley Cockett. I think Brett Deercliffs was also quite a speedster on the wing. So credit to the full Selborne team, powerhouse in the forwards and crisp on the back line. But Jason, just quickly, I think we also need to introduce Gareth Jordan.
Yes.
He was a commentator on all our video clips. Gareth, welcome. How are you doing?
Hey Courtney, how's it going? Good to see you guys after so many years.
It's been a long time, and your voice brings back a lot of memories. I remember on Friday evenings to go to our coach, Mr. Boshoff's house, and we used to watch the previous week's game. We used to analyze our mistakes, our strengths, weaknesses, the whole bank shoot. And of course, you were very pivotal in your commentary, and we're quite keen to hear a couple of your stories and good to hear your voice.
Yeah, so the reason I ended up commentating was I broke my fingers early on in the season, and the gentleman who did all the filming was an old Dalian by the name of Kevin Islandfeld. And he wrote me in to kind of keep me involved in the game. As you can imagine, any schoolboy who misses out on a rugby season, it's quite a depressing time of your life. So it was quite cool. I got a bird's eye view of every single game that you guys played. Some incredible memories. It also meant I didn't have to sing for 80 minutes. And with champions like John Kirk and Nicholas Baldwin, you were definitely going to be singing and losing your voice every single Saturday. So yeah, it was just a really cool way to watch some really really good rugby. Some of the memories. Kevin used to try to get that game out pretty early in the week, so I learned early on, pronunciation of names. I remember Patrick Stotter furiously looking for me one week when I mispronounced his name. So I used to spend a lot of time in the National Geographic section of the libraries on a Monday and Tuesday. And then I also had to learn quickly not to criticize people too heavily. I was a standard 15-year-old and telling, some really big first team rugby players that they were selling each other for 10 cents with the hospital passes they were giving. So, it was an interesting time, but, I still get the old Hunefleis when I watch it. It was pretty clear that I was a late maturer by the sound of my voice. And I can quite clearly remember falling off the roof of the Selborne grandstand at the end of that game. You'll actually notice there's a 3-second pause where Kevin had to kind of grab me and pull me back onto the roof. But yeah, some really really good memories, some really good rugby, and I totally agree with you. Well coached, well led, uncompromising bunch of bunch of guys that refused to take a step back, and I'm sure a lot of guys are looking forward to rewatching a classic, almost test match kind of rugby at schoolboy level.
Just on that note there, Gareth, are there any particular games that stood out for you in particular? Anything that you remember, anything that was quite special?
Look, obviously the Grey Bloom game was a really, really big one. I stand to be corrected, but I don't think we've played them since we beat them in 1993. I certainly don't remember us playing them again. That was obviously massive. And then any time you beat Queens and Selborne twice in 1 year is a really, really huge achievement. And then, you know, that last game, I think you've given it away already as to what happened at the end. But I think it's really important that, you know, the first question I asked myself when I watched the ending is, was that planned? You know, what you did, and it wasn't planned at all. So, you know, kind of bring back memories of Joel Stransky overruling Francois Pinault in the '95 World Cup as to, you know, like they had a set play and he cancelled the call and went for the drop goal, and it seemed like you and Patrick did the same thing in the last movement of that game. So, you know, those little subplots that come along with the game are really, really interesting. But yeah, those games were, they were really special. Eh?
I want to come in here.
I think the guys are going
to. Sorry, just very quickly, the guys are all going to be watching the game, you will see there was a line out. Dale was throwing the ball in. It was so skewed that Mark Patterson, the fullback for Dale, caught it. That's how skewed it was. And how it wasn't blown up, I have no idea.
But Jason, you must remember that we were playing in London. So, you know, when you play in East London, you get an East London referee. So, you know, I can understand you saying that if it was in Williamstown and us getting away with it. But, yeah, not in East London. Eh?
Yeah,
I think it's all good, and I think let's not forget the fact that we're building up here to the Dale Selborne game. I think the guys are going to start getting the actual game ready. It's really been a build-up to celebrate Eastern Cape rugby, and we say our favourite foe, Dale Selborne, has been playing great rugby against one another for 199 years, and this was no different, you know. So, guys, thanks very, very much, Gareth, for joining, and Schmitty for your input. Please, guys, don't forget to also pass your comments. Send your comments through to YouTube or Twitter. Just tweet hashtag SSL Vintage and pass your comments through. Send some photographs through. Lovely to reconnect with old players and friends. But I think, guys, enjoy the game, and thanks very much for your time.
Pleasure.
Thanks,
enjoy, guys.
Thanks, Jason. Guys.
Cheers, Gareth.
And we welcome you to the Selborne field here in East London, where the second team have just had a magnificent win. 10-5 against an unbeaten Selborne second team, not unbeaten anymore. Mr. Cousins, a very happy coach indeed. They've worked for, the second team have worked for this all season. You see him congratulating all these players there, and they'll be very happy about this. And well, today is a decided match if they will be unbeaten for the rest of the season. The teams to take the field today are for Selborne. At fullback we have Hewlett, wings Backen and deadlifts, centres Vaya and Luck, who's captain, and then you saw the famous flick flag from John Kirk. He'll be pumped up for this match today. Flower for at Cockett, Cut's not playing today. Scrum off Schmidt, and there we have the Dale College first team, the unbeaten first team so far, led by Grant Griffiths. It will be Grant Griffiths' 60th match today. That's quite an achievement. This is his third year in the first team. Vice Captain Justin Corrins. Props for Selborne, Creel and McDonough. Vice Captain and hooker Buerta. There's Selborne team led by Luck, number 12. Number 6, Wampatch. 4 and 5, Sparg and Whitfield. 7, Cockcroft and 8, Rigby. Today the ref is Jay Struble. Mr. Struble ref Dale last week against Queens, and he had a fair match last week. And you can just see how pumped up the Dalians are for this. Everyone is expecting Patrick Stotter to have a blinder today. He As you can see, Marcus Levy is not playing today. He's been replaced by Clinton Boucher. This is his second match for Dale, I think. And he's a very reliable replacement. So we expect nothing but 110% from him. And Leonard Wilmot's still on the wing for the injured Warren Spring. And you just see Justin Collins pumping up his chaps there. And we have the kickoff from Mark Pedersen. A beautiful kick from Mark Pedersen, just carrying the 10-meter yards. Well taken there by Selborne, number 4. I think that was... Yep, that was Whitfield. And Buerto went on the charge here, but it's nicely taken by Dale Smith now to Cockett. And penalty now to Selborne. First penalty of the match. Will we see Selborne go for poles? Or yes, I think it's Rod Buerto who's kicking for Selborne today. And it's Rod Buerto to kick for Selborne today. And the pass has been cut to McDonald, but today it's Buerto. There is quite a strong breeze here today. See how nicely spread out the Dalians are. It's Rod Buerto with the kick. It's a nice kick by Buerto that looks like it could be over. That one's just gone to the left of the upright. It's a nice attempt by Rod Buerto. So Mark Pedersen to restart. Nice tap back there from Dale College. It'll be a scrum to Dale if we lose the ball. So it'll be a scrum to Dale College for the knock-on. And you see just a bit of aggression there from Mark Francis and I think it's Whitfield. And Mr. Struble displaying the teams up there. Sorry, number 4, Spark. A penalty at Dale. That's Dale's first penalty. And a nice touch finder there from Mark Pedersen. Mark Pedersen has played 15 games for first team this year. He'll be going to UPE next year, so this will be one of his last games for Dale College. Michael Knoll to throw in. Wooden, sharp taking the dart into his forward. Nicely played there from Stotter. Stotter on the run now, into Luck. Stotter tackled there by Luck. Now you see the Dale College forwards just going over the ball there. Looks like Selborne might win this one back though. But the ref is blowing the teams up. And that ball looked as if it was out, but the ref blew them up. I think the scrum turned a bit there to 90 degrees. Short arm to Dale College. Will we see the high up and under here, or a move where the loose forward's going to the back line and come back? A penalty shown to Dale College. Penalty to Dale College, and this could be points for Dale College. We have had a bit of rain here today, but the sun's come out nicely now, and I don't think we'll have a problem with the weather anymore. And Peter Lutz has decided to go for poles. This kick about 24 meters out from the poles. He's been kicking extremely well lately. He kicked excellently against Queens, getting 4 out of 5. Lutz, who has scored a record of 96 points. Not really a record, but that's his personal record, and that one just going away of the poles. And that's a nice drop out there from Cockett. Michael Knowles is throwing for Dale College. This is definitely his last year for Dale College. 19 years old and 77 kgs, 1.84 meters tall. Nicely taken there by Mark Francis, 1.89 meters tall. You can see Luck calling a move there. Now the driver's on for Dale College. And Solana, Selborne just been driving into touch. And that's one knocked back there by Spark. And again another line out. There's such an enormous crowd here today. I think Selborne were expecting more people than this. Quite a few people up from King Williamstown. Nicely taken there by Mark Francis. Courtney Wooden nicely fed back to the backs. Barry Ducks on the right now, just sidestepping most forwards. They must get this ball back. It looks like Selborne might have it. Schmidt. Penalty to Dale College. And a nice kick into touch there by Mark Patterson, making sure of the touch but not going very far, but as long as he got the ball into touch, it'll still be Dale's line out. I think the results today haven't been that pleasing towards Dale's side. I know that juniors lost most of their match and lost quite a few senior matches, but nicely taken there by Sparg. And another penalty to Dale College, or jumping or barging in the line out. So it's another nice penalty for Dale College, and they'll just go for a touch now. I think the game plan today for Dale is just to keep Selborne in their half and to run as much as possible. Still very potent when they run. A beautiful kick by Mark Patterson, but just not going into touch. And Cockett is wearing one cut as usual, number 10 jersey, puts up a high one, but that one goes into touch. And a couple of drops of rain coming onto the field at the moment, but nothing serious. Nicely taken by Mark Francis, nicely cleaned up there by Michael now. Courtney Wooden looking for the ball. See Patrick started just protecting his backs there. Selborne got that little, Selborne acted on that mistake by Dale, and now Dale are way back in their half, and Tyron Schwartz could do nothing but run into touch. He had like just pumping up his chaps there. Dale really in an advantage position there, and then just letting it slip. When they started to pick up. And Dale will probably try to push Selborne into touch. Yep, Dale push Selborne into touch. Oh, sorry, Dale were pushed into touch there. So to be Selborne's line out. Roberto using post with trick to throw in. So someone definitely on the attack now. Nice split back there for Peter Lutz. And there's some shots in from the Dalians, maybe a bit of sides. But the ref deciding that they'll went into the ball and died with it. So it will be Selborne's in Dale's 22. So Selborne in quite an advantage position now. If they want to score, they must use this advantage effectively and not waste it. You can see flanker just, yes, you can see the flanker just putting it back into the scrum, which is illegal. So short on to Dale College. And a nice kick there from Mark Patterson. Can see how much influence the wind has on it. That kick started off like a bomb and then the wind just slowed it down and faded into touch. So they're getting out of their 22 there. It looked a bit skew from here, but nicely taken by Wayne Patch. Sorry, yeah, Wayne Patch who took that ball, so making sure there. And Selborne go further down into the Dale half. Still no score in this half. Is that a penalty for Dale or a scrum? I'm not sure. Yep, it's a scrum for Dale. Selborne on the charge there, you know. Penalty to Selborne. Do you see the Selbornians just going and shouting at the ref there? I think that was totally irrelevant because ref was in the perfect position there. And McDonald to go for poles now, so a change from things now. It's a fairly easy kick for McDonald, so they haven't been playing very well in the first couple of minutes of this match. And, well, they haven't been running the ball a lot. They've just been having to defend quite a lot. So, Selborne will hope that he gets us over, and if he does, there'll be a huge roar from the Selborne supporters. And that was good. (3-0) to Selborne. Nice kick there from Mark Patterson. Knock on there from Dale College from kickoff. You see Mark Patterson's kickoffs have been fairly good today. Dale must score in the next 10 minutes if they wish to bounce back into this game. And that kick by Cockett into direct touch. And you see Britt Detlefs, number 14, going into the line for defence. Got Bert's on the runner. Courtney Wooden being handed off there. And Roberts heavily tackled into touch there. And Leonard Wilmot and Mark Francis and Patrick Stoddard, so it was a crashing tackle. So the 77 kg hooker Michael Mill to throw in. His rugby heroes Lily Schmidt, as is many others, and lifting in the line out there. Short arm. Selborne's first short arm. And Macaulay sticks. Looks like it's going to be a drop goal. No, it's the bomb from Cockett. Just outside the 22. Nice kick there by Cockett. Nice attack by Mark Francis. Courtney Wooden will just clear it for down. A nice little kick by Courtney Wooden. Bouncing it to touch. Nicely played by Courtney Wooden. Courtney Wooden has had 16 games for first team this year. Nice tap there from the college. Sean Sharp on the run now. Griffiths taking the break. And Griffiths, can you believe it, knocking over Hayden Lack. A penalty to Dale College. And you just see how pumped up the Dalians are here. And you see just a bit of aggression there from both teams. And the linesman on the far side has his flag up. So this could be good or bad news for Dale College. Looks like it could be bad. Of course, the ref can't overrule the linesman. And the Danians just waiting for the outcome of this little conference. Barry Dark is going towards his pole as if it is a penalty to Selborne. And the rest is calling the two captains. It looks like Dale's going to be penalised there. Looks like it's going to be a penalty for Selborne. Oh, this is bad news for Dale, because this could be another 3 points. McDonough to go for the kick now. So that could have been the law of dirty playing, law number 26. And Dale have given away a lot of penalties this season, mainly to too much aggression and too much dirty play. And that ball for McDonough just falling out of the tee. And just hearing a comment from the far side was, Dale, stop playing like the Springboks in the second test. Well, I don't think Dale want to play like that. And that's through the poles. 6-0 Selborne. So there are problems in the Dale camp. The rain is definitely coming down nicely now. Another nice kick off by Mark Patterson. Dale forwards were there very quickly. The kick now by Selborne. Wilmot back to Patterson. And Patterson just clears it into touch. And the ref has called them back, but I don't think that was right by the ref, because then Dormant passed the ball back to Mark Patterson, who kicked in his 25 into touch. It was direct touch, but still I don't think that was a right decision by the ref. Nice taken by Sparg. And the scrum for Dale College for Ski Tran. Short time now to Selborne, which hasn't been a very good half for Dale College. Selborne on the run again. Nice second face ball there for Selborne. Cockett on the run now. Nice tackle by Peter Lutz. Nicely picked up there by Alexander Smith. Before Locke, he's also had 8th man before, so he's very from the field. And now we have an injury. Looks like it's Grant Griffiths on the floor. You can just see how motivated Selborne is. I think they're definitely the more motivated team. Earlier in the week, Ian McIntosh said that whatever team's on the field wanting to win the most will win. And I hope that's not the case for this game, because it looks like Selborne want to win the most. Another data is just shining for Grant Griffiths. It will be very disappointing if Grant Griffiths has to go off. Looks like he's up. Might just be a bit winded. Well, it looks like his arm there, fiddling around with his arm. He's getting up. He won't go off the field for any small cause. It definitely looks like his lower part of the arm from the elbow down. I hope that doesn't affect the rest of his game. So Selborne scrum. We see the drop ball attempt here. And Selborne using a move that the Springboks often score off. This little switch back inside. Nice pass there by Courtney Wood. And Peter Lutz on the run now. Peter Lutz, Justin Corrs. Greg Cummings on the run now. Taken nicely there by Selborne. Mark Francis. Ball back for Dell. Wooden. Griffiths. Sorry. Ardakis coming back into his forwards here. Again, second phase ball. Sharp. Lutz. Almost looking that one on. Schwartz. Is Schwartz going to go in for a try? And Schwartz tackled into touchdown. So that's beautiful rugby there from Dale College, running from their 25. And now it's about 10 meters from Selborne's try line. Much better rugby from Dale College. And you can see the support in that storming run by Dale College. Locks, props, and loose forwards all involved there. Centres and wing. Think down on this line out. You can see how deep the backs are lying and how shallow the Selbornians are. If Selbornians doesn't get too close, they might be a bit offsides. The ball's not coming out of that loose track. Selborne scrum. Looks like a penalty for Selborne. Mr. Stribbles called them back for a penalty. Maybe a bit of sides there, but not very good for Dow. They get on the attack and then give away pathetic little penalties. And Bruto will go for touch. Not a very good kick there by Rod Bruto, but definitely going into touch. Schmidt, Cockett puts up a fairly far up and under. Nice taken by Patterson, who can't really kick direct now. Should have kicked it a bit further. Someone on the run now. And someone just running into touch there. So they are not playing very good rugby. They have played better. Also taken there by Whitfield. Schmidt working for the ball. Cockett. Drop goal by Cockett. It one going to the left of the poles. Ugly bounce there for Dale College. And a 25 or very close there for Dale College. And a nice drop out there from Dale College. That's one going into touch. Dirtless back for it. And Dirtless decided to go for the kick. And no one calling for that ball for Dale College. That one is taken in the 5-meter area. Yeah, Grant Griffiths shouting at his players, hold the ball, don't do anything stupid. That's the opposite of what Dale is doing. Everything is just too quick. And yeah, Courtney Wooden just telling the chaps to relax. Score 6-0 to Selborne. Whitfield went up there, but not being able to get it. Long pass to Barry Hardakis. Nice kick there by Hardakis. And a bit too far. See, the winner had another big influence there on that kick. Butcher to turn the ball for Selborne. Butcher gives to Schmidt. Schmidt to Cockett. Cockett skips via luck on the dummy there. And now the loose forward are involved. Schmidt. That's a forward pass there. Butcher with the ball. Nice. And that's totally irrelevant from Rod Butcher, but the linesman being a bit unfair there, I think. He totally saw Rod Butcher trying to stamp on Tom Schwartz and just ignored it completely. So they'll like with that one. And the scrum is collapsing there. Dale College pack weighs 494 kilograms. That is an unbelievable 362 kilograms lighter than the Springbok pack. Penalty to Dale College. Dale haven't had one of those for a long time. And the kick by Mark Patterson going into touch. A nice kick by Patterson. Sorry, now to throw in. Goes to number 4, jumper, but Selborne win the ball back. Selborne has been beating the other than the line us this far. Cockett, another kick by Cockett. He's just been kicking the whole day into Schwartz's hand. Schwartz decides to give it to Patterson, who will probably kick upfield. It's into Rodberta. Can you do that? I'm not sure. And that's the end of the first half. So, a shocking half for Dale College. I'm sure Coach Mr. Boshoff will have something not very good to say. Maybe Dale were expecting an easy game here today, but for Selborne they've lost to Grey PE and to Queens. But they are very pumped for this game, as this is also their last game of the season. So the second half will start with the score 6-0 to Selborne. They'll better shape up if they want to come back into this match. You can hear the Selborne cheerleader just shouting who's going to win, and the response is Selborne. And the way they are playing now, it might just be the result suited to start the second half for us. The unit puts a deep one up into touch. They are playing with the south breeze now. Griffiths will just put it into touch. Nice kick there by Griffiths. It was out, I think. Oh, I think that was definitely out. Sean Sharp decides to run. Sean Sharp, who can't kick with his right foot, was in a bit of trouble there. The ref is playing that to nap, so I don't think Coach Mr. Bushroff will be very happy with that. I think the solutions to those problems would be to run the ball to the wings. So the team scrum. And that one going 90 degrees. Looks like Courtney Wooden might have a bit of blood on him, but no, he hasn't, so looks okay. Cockett again kicks. Nice kick there by Cockett. Selborne once again on the attack. So on it, Selborne to turn. Selborne on the line, penalty to Dale. Just as they take the time for the penalty, the weather today is definitely made for rugby here not very good. Second team was outstanding, quite an exception to that statement, but nice kick by Patterson. But definitely weather hasn't been the best today. So Michael North to throw in for Dow. Nice taken there by Peter Lutz. Wooden, sharp with the left foot. If the bounce favours Sean Sharp, it will be a very good kick. Leonard Wilmot. I don't think that was a late tackle, but Detlef's under a lot of pressure there from new winger Leonard Wilmot. Sean Sharp is having to be a bit ambidextrous there. So they're on the attack. They must score now if they want to come back into this match. But Whitfield wins that ball back. Our problems for Dowell or just the lineouts who haven't been doing too well. And then yesterday, the Dowell first, he was out practicing lineouts and scrams. And you see ref Mr. Stribble just scrambling around that pretty small, giving the scram to Dowell College because Selborne took the ball in and made it dead. problems in the scrums. Patrick Stoddard was trying to go in there. Patrick Stoddard, Patrick Stoddard! Patrick Stoddard looks it through! Patrick Stoddard's over the line! What a magnificent try by Patrick Stoddard! Whoa, whoa, whoa. As I said, Dal needed to come back with the try, and Patrick Stoddard was just the man to go over for the line. Beautiful try. Excellent try. You see, you got a bit stuck in the forwards there, and this broke loose there, and went crashing through the Selborne defence, and Selborne just trying to tackle in there and failing. So a very important kick now for Peter Lutz. This kick should put Dal in a points lead. That one does. 7 points to 6. So Dal must retain this lead for a couple of minutes and then try to score again. So just stopping sides. Well, I think that might have raised the hopes of the Dalians. And the Dalians say the walkover with pride as Cockett's kick doesn't go 10 meters, or Selborne are cracking at the moment. From the view we have up top here, it's just like he doesn't strike that one well. It's really a beautiful view from where we are. We can just see all the dirty play, all the mistakes by the ref, by the linesman. Nice scrum there by Selborne. Ref throwing that one up. Stop there, throwing the ball on the halfway mark. And again, the ref playing them up for the scrum. And still, it's a 76, 1.8. 18-year-old scrummer of Courtney Wooden, who's played 16 games for Dal College, putting the ball. They'll win that ball definitely now. Nice clean ball. Hadakas, Griffiths on the break! Griffiths on the break, Griffiths on the run! Lovely run here by Grant Griffiths and putting a nice little grab into touch. Well, this is definitely better play from Dal College. In the first half, I think it was another team that was playing for Dal College, and maybe we had the proper team here now. But definitely better play from Dal College. Burton to turn the ball. Dal on the attack again. Nice attack in there by Spark. I think that ball's coming back for Selborne. Cockett. Cockett almost fumbling that ball with another penalty to Selborne. I think a bit of offsides there from Dal. And the Selborne supporters, they definitely die down with their vocal cords. So Burton to kick. Well, not a very good kick by Rod Burton. Barry Adakus will cover that on that. And he just kicks it right back. Cockett. And sort of like an up and under, but pretty far, nicely taken. I think it should be Dal's ball. No, it's Selborne's ball. It's a fairly nice kick there by Cockett. Nicely taken there by Whitfield, knocked back. Detlefs. Oh, nicely tackled there by Mark Francis. Dal's right up on there now. Wooden looking for that ball. Wooden's got the ball. Sharp. Nicely taken there by Sharp. You see how nicely Sean Sharp stays on his feet. And the ref's blowing that one up. Well, I think Selborne might have been a bit offsides there. The ref not thinking about that decision. And an injury now for Selborne. Got it at the end, eh?
Yeah, you can take it. It's
And the two teams scrum, the Selborne is up on his feet. Another scrum going 90 degrees turn. And pull back for Selborne. Cockett knocking that on, I think. And a short arm for Selborne. Selborne decides to run it. Luck. Ooh, nicely tackled there by Grant Griffiths. Looks like there was a knock on there by Schmidt. The ref indicated a knock on, but not interested. And Mark Patterson nicely caught the mark there. Very interesting refereeing here from the ref. Indicated a knock on there from Jason Schmidt, but then let it go. So this is going to be quite a tough kick for Mark Patterson to get into touch, but he manages to get it there and cracking a Selborne on the head. I don't think that's much of a loss for Selborne. So British throwing the ball, Selborne down's half, 7-6 to Dale. Taken by Sprague, nicely played back by no. Wooden looking for the ball, but a knock on there by Selborne. And a bit of over-aggression there by Sprague and Whitfield. And the Dale is just trying to sort them out. And the ref is talking to both teams. And let's go now for Dale College. Oh, what a scram by Selborne. Another scrum by Selborne. Well, this is tight head. Cockett. Tackled by Wooden. Ooh, this is bad for Dale College. So McDonald will go for poles. I'm not quite sure what that was for. Warriors now for the aliens. So McDonald's got to carefully judge the wind now. And the Daniels will be holding thumbs that he doesn't get this over. So McDonough, 24 metres out from the try line. That one's going, that one's swung. Hadakis decides to kick. I think it would have been better to take the drop kick from the 25 because now Selborne are still on attack, so not a very good decision there. So Dale's still in the lead. Patrick sort of kicks it through there, no advantage plays. Skew throwing, scrum to Dale. Looks like Selborne would be through there. And it's Mark Patterson who put in a miraculous tackle, but that one scrum going 90 degrees. Selborne scrumming much better than Dale today. Sean Sharp running, handing off, and luck there. I think that wasn't a very good decision by Dow. Now scrum to Selborne. Dow must clear that ball out of their half. They aren't being very clever by running it. They're taking the game into their own hands. I don't think Coach Mr. Boshoff will be happy with that decision. And that's going collapsing. We see the drop goal there, you see Fire changing sides. Cockett going the wrong way. Barry Ardakis on the run. And that's a forward pass from Ardakis. It's better play from Dale College. Selborne had a 2-man overlap on the closest side to us, but then Cockett going the wrong way, not reading the play very well. So now Dale are in Selborne's half. And a short time to Dale College. Can Dale put in some more points on the board there? This will be good news. I think they might do. Sean Sharp puts up a little up and under and takes it back himself, and now Dale must swing this ball or get this ball back. The ref blows it up and the scrum will be for Selborne. Another waste. And an injury here for Dale College. It looks like it's Michael Null. Michael Null has been in the wars with injuries in Dale College. Sorry, Michael Null, it's Clinton Barcher, and I don't think he's had any injuries with Dale. But just mentioning Michael Null, he's had quite a few injuries for Dale. He's had a bruised intercostal muscles and a Carl's tendon, but he does not suffer from them anymore, he says. I think one of the most injured players in the Dale team. This is Michael Null, and Stephen Turner has come on for the Dale first team from the second team. So a big blow there for Dale College. Oh, look at that shove! Ever since Turner came, it's been good scrumming. Nice kick there by Cockett. So Michael Null throw the ball in for Dale. And it looks like it's Clinton Barcher's ankle. I just hope he can come back on. But it doesn't look like he will. It can't be off for longer than 5 minutes. Nice line out there from Selborne again, winning Dale's line out. So it's like Australia and South Africa line out. Selborne, of course, being Australian. But not winning the line up there gives Dale the scrum. A tight head. So Selborne have been getting quite a... This is about the second or third tight head now, I'm not quite sure, but that looked like a knock-on, but the ref plays. Says play on. Selborne going right over the top there. I think that should have been a penalty. This looked like Whitfield. Sparks, I think he just went right over the top there. Came in with the boot. Better scrum from Selborne College, but Selborne again shoving down. There must be something wrong in their forwards today. And that one's gone direct, I think. So they're not really putting all their ball into good use. Nice taken there by Spark. Looked like there was a knock there by Schmidt. Called him back for the knock on. And the ball just hitting the ref on the cup there. To some people it'll be the net. Is this another tight head? Another tight head for Selborne. Luck just puts another kick through. And Pedersen not been able to get down in his grasp. Bacon is running up there. Knock on from Pedersen gets Selborne the scrum. And Selborne will want to score here. So we've called a move. So better score from down Schmidt. Wayne Page, nice tackle by Griffiths. Luck changing direction. Shaking out of the tackle. That one was knocked on there, but also now lucky. So not a bad move by Selborne. And about 5 minutes left in this match, and it'll be an enormous tense 5 minutes. Could have Schmidt been offside there, I'm not sure. Pedersen. Nice kick by Mark Pedersen. Beautiful kick by Mark Pedersen, but just not going into touch. Shots in the tackle. Becken being tackled. All the Dalians are swarming all over, and some nice way there from Selborne College. So Grant Golfers just told Mark Pedersen right down the field, and that's what Mark Pedersen did. So we play right below us now. So Dow must win this ball. Looks like it might go to 2. And it does, cleaning up by Alex Smith. It looks like Spark might have come a bit off sides there. And I think Sparks definitely came a bit off sides there. Selborne on the run, nice tackle there by Alex Smith. And this ball being bottled up by Dow, but it's coming out for Selborne. Cockett with the kick. Nasty charge down there by Barry Duckett. Sean Sharp brought on to Cockett very quickly. Penalty to Selborne. Not sure what for. Not sure at all what for. Definitely, I think a bit harsh on Dow there. Cockett going for touch. Looks like Britt is not kicking anymore. Nice kick there by Cockett. Well, Selborne want to score now. Will we see the drop goal attempt? This has been almost tenser than the Queensdale match that I had at the beginning of the term. Beginning of the season, sorry. So Dow must win this ball, or it's going to be big trouble for them. Mark Francis is gone there for Selborne, knock on by Dow. As you can see, Detlefs has come over to this side. They'll win the scrum and give it to Wilmot on the blind side. He'll be away. If it alerts, the ref calling him back there, he would have been away as well. Cliffs goes back to his original position. Another charge down by Hadakas, not picked up by Hadakas. He kicks it down. Well, that's where we leave the pressure off Dale. Another chase on from Dale. Barnes favouring Selborne there. Lurton with the tackle. Selborne not releasing that ball. That should be a penalty, Mr. Ref. Wooden. Griffiths. Sorry, Sharp. Hadakas, is he over? No, it's the line out. So Dale definitely on the attack here. Dale will want to score here. Well, that was, I must say, Barry Hadakas has had an extremely good game today, and he must be one of the contenders for man of the match. I mean, he's charged down at least 4 kicks from Cockett, and Cockett definitely not taking his time, so Hadakas has played exceptionally well. So Dale will want to win this line out and score. Could this be the last move of the game? He's going to ground there. Short arm to Selborne. So another waste by Selborne College. Tapped by Schmidt. Not a very good kick. Schwartz. It's going to be Tyron Schwartz. No, it's Via. Via keeps it in. It's bad to let that ball bounce. That ball being played back at a penalty now for Selborne. I don't think this is right for Selborne. Or for the ref and for Selborne. They'll just maybe a bit unfair by Selborne. But he taps it in the pass in front of the ball. Rod Wirtz on the run now. It's the 8th man. Done tackle. Lovely tackle there by Selborne College. And what is the penalty for? Well, there should have been a scrum here from this original penalty as there was a Selbornian in front of the ball. But Selborne decides to run. Overlap. And Tyron Schwartz tackling back into touch. Will the final whistle go? No. I think back in might be a bit hurt there. So not many contenders for man of the match, but one definite contender is Barry Hadakas, and we actually have given it to Barry Hadakas. He has had a storming game. Looks like Greg Cummings might be hurt now. So Barry Hadakas man of the match there. So being advantage to Selborne. So Dale must win this line out. It's one of the lineouts they have to win. Nicely covered by Michael Nell. And that ball not coming out, so it'll be a scrum for Selborne. Well, there might be 2 more minutes in it. And these will be the 2 most important minutes of some of these Dalians and Selbornians' lives. Schmidt, Cockett. Dirklifts. Nicely tackled there by Dale. Cockett. Tackled by Griffiths. This is better defense by Selborne College. And the ref giving another penalty. Totally irrelevant, I think. It was just a perfect tackle there. Grant Griffiths, I don't think, could get out of the way, and penalising Grant Griffiths. I don't think that was right by the ref. Hadlock deciding to go for poles. Well, what a pressure kick for McDonough. It will be McDonough to go for poles. So we won a very tense moment, and I think he might have a huge advantage with him. Breaths will be held around this field, thumbs will be held as McDonough takes his kick. He has to kick the ball to the right of the poles. I just hope for Dale's sake that this doesn't go over. That's McDonough. Schmidt holding the ball. I think it might just go over. That thing's going over. Selborne, I think, are going to win this match. 9-7. Well, I don't think Dale are going to be the 5th unbeaten team in Dale history. As you can see, the forwards being very slack there. And let the final whistle go. No, it won't. I think that was a very lucky kick from McDonough. Will Dale decide to run? Justin Currens might just be robbed of that ball. Knock on by Selborne. I think we're in injury time now. Better scrap by Dale College with Selborne coming back. 90-degree turn. And have Dale let this one slip. Wooden putting up the chip for Leonard Wilmot. Not a knock-on. Wilmot! Cummings, that's over! Yes! Dale have scored! Dale have scored! And I think that's been the winning try for Dale College! Dale have scored in the most extraordinary circumstances! Can you believe it? Dale have done the most extreme pressure you have ever seen in your life. I cannot believe it. Look at the Dalians. Well, look at the Dalians. John Kirk, well, he must have lost a couple of brain cells there for the shouting he's done. And hugging and kissing and, well. Beautiful. You lost. Selborne, you lost. And the Selborne heads are down. Lovely stuff, Dale College. Moy. Whoa. What a try. Dale under so much pressure. This one's over. No, that's not the final whistle. There's like almost 1 minute. A score, 49. Well, Selborne were dead quiet and I don't think they know what's going on now. And the war cry for Dale College is said with absolute pride. Tightened up by Dale College. This one should just be kicked into touch. Dale College have won! 49 after being 6-0 down at half-time. Dale came back with it. Oh, what a beautiful match. And just look at the Dalians. John Kirk, here he goes out to the Selbornians to congratulate them. What an extraordinary match. Beautiful. The Dale first team unbeaten this season. The 5th unbeaten team this season. Beautiful stuff. 6-0 down at half-time. Came back with a try. I think the try was scored by Patrick Stoddard. Converted, 7-6. McDonough, at least 1.5 minutes from the end of the match. Kicks a penalty. 9-7. And then, oh, a beautiful try. A beautiful try. Courtney Wooden putting up a chip. Carried on by Leonard Wilmot, just giving it to Greg Cummings, and the 90 kg prop. No one stopping him. Oh, beautiful stuff, Dale College. Well, this victory will go down in the history books of Dale College, and there'll be a lot of partying tonight.